Welcome, members. Hey.
Hey.
All right, so
Hey.
Jeff didn't get the memo that we all had to wear red shirts. All right.
Well, look at that. Do you see Jeff has got the headphones on?
Oh, yeah.
That's something. Look at there.
Come in, Space Patrol. Space Patrol.
Yes.
Or-
Space Patrol, please come in.
Or I want to
Yeah.
give my order at Wendy's. I'm not sure which
You know,
one.
I also put headphones on this time, Jeff. I wasn't going to get ridiculed like I did last time. I was very upset. So
Anyway.
Yes, you have to be very careful. He is a very perfection, type person.
Yeah.
You
I know
can't
that.
just show up.
Right.
You have to be ready. It's going to be prepared.
Blah, 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 prepared.
speaking of being ready and prepared,
Yeah.
I heard that Kelly Green wasn't going to be with us because he got arrested. Did you hear that?
No, tell us more.
Oh, apparently he got arrested for crying after losing a tennis match. He was charged with racketeering.
Oh, dear. Wow.
Racketeering.
Wow. Now that wonderful joke is out of the way, and of course that's what everybody becomes a member for this
Right.
unique
That's the
content,
content that they're after.
and the jokes. You and I, and Jeff is not privy to this, but you and I shared a video today about this guy named Trevor Jacob, and he crashed his plane.
Oh yes, yeah.
Have you heard about that, Jeff?
I know all about Trevor. Been following that.
He was wearing a parachute,
Yeah.
which I thought was very surprising. I have never worn a parachute in a plane before. Well, with that one exception, and that was when I was planning on jumping out of the plane.
Right.
I was jumping out on purpose.
Uh-huh.
But
So-
Yeah, but he was wearing a dive parachute. He was not wearing your general purpose parachute. He was wearing one of those sport parachutes that you do,
now, a dive parachute, is that like a greasy spoon parachute?
No, it's one of the ones that's highly controllable. The guys that do the stunt parachuting and things, they wear those.
Everybody thinks this is fake, right?
Yeah.
But and they're tearing apart this video. It's getting almost a
I
million
will
views.
say on the back strut there is oil. See that on the back strut? It looks like there's oil that has leaked, and that would be indicative of an engine failure.
Yeah.
It doesn't look to me like foliage. It doesn't look to me like he had like bugs. It was just way too consistent to be bugs. So it does look like there's oil on that back strut, and that's the only thing that says to me that this was anything less than staged. But that's just me.
What kind of trouble can he get in if it was staged? Is this in the United States even?
Yes, this is in the United States. He intentionally crashed an aircraft. And the thing about this is that people that have Microsoft Flight Simulator have found the exact location that he was at. And they have since gone and simulated the flight with the same type of aircraft in the simulator. And there are at least 6 locations in the area that he could have safely landed that aircraft without having to jump out of it.
He was within gliding distance. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was one huge field that one guy actually brought the plane down that was literally flat for hundreds of feet that, would have been perfect for that little plane.
So I'm guessing that he wanted to collect insurance on it, get a new plane, and get a million view video because he recovered all of the GoPros.
Yeah, I don't think he had a big dollar amount there. I mean, it's not a real expensive plane there.
No.
But I think he did it to try to get YouTube views. You know how those crazy YouTubers are, Ken.
Don't I know it?
Well, and if you look in the cockpit, the fuel line is dangling from the upper section. I mean, the plane doesn't look like it's in great condition. So it seems to me that it was an expendable aircraft. The thing is that even though he did that in a rural area, there was still a lot of danger to what he did. Oh, yeah. It was inappropriate. I mean, we get in trouble flying drones and losing control of them, and they flying off. People get all bent out of shape. This guy has a whole plane that he lets loose.
What's the latest with the FAA? Are they still investigating, or are they charging him with something?
They're investigating. Last I heard. I mean, he potentially could face a lot of fines and lose his license at a minimum. Whether or not there's anything more to that, I mean, I would imagine the fines would be pretty heavy for that, would it not?
the FAA is a regulatory organization just like any other. So the long and short of it is that they only have power to make your life miserable if you care about them. Most of the time, they're not going to go to court and sue you, or they're not going to go to court and try to get some kind of justice. They'll just take away your license. They'll impose fines and things like that. But and of course, they might do the legal thing, but I doubt it. They're probably going to hope the thing goes away.
Set an example from him, or no?
I don't know.
There's the flip side of this, because there was the older woman that had a long history of flying who intentionally
flew under a bridge.
Yeah, flew under the bridge, and they took her license away.
Yeah,
but she turned off her ADSB or something, didn't she?
Yeah,
They said that she claimed that she blew a fuse, and she had no problem admitting that she flew under the bridge, but she said she blew a fuse and she wasn't trying to be. Wasn't trying to pull the wool over their eyes or anything, but it kind of looked like she probably did that on purpose.
Too coincidental. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how old is this Trevor guy? He looks.
He looks younger.
Young enough to think of it, but almost old enough to know better.
Well, and plus he's also young enough to be. I mean, getting in and out of those airplanes is not the easiest thing. To be honest, he was young enough to do it in the air and you hold that door open. I mean, believe it or not, that's hard to do. When the air is coming against it, it acts as a rudder. When you open the door, you got to be pretty stout just to get the thing open.
Yeah, it's not like a skydiving plane, certainly.
No.
But
a lot of those skydiving planes have the door that either flips up or something, but I don't guess I know. I'm trying to think off the top of my head how those skydiving planes work. I've seen a couple of them, but nevertheless, the long and short of it is he's opening that door out towards the wind. So here's the side of the plane like this, and he's opening it out. So the wind is hitting it like that. The door wants to close. He's just got to be pretty stout to do that.
I'm curious.
Here's the other thing to think about that. If you go back and watch the video, when the engine fails, he's in the cockpit pulling the sticks back, slowing the aircraft down. He's trying to get it to a stall speed, right, which is going to help him get that door open.
Right. Well, that's true too. And you'll also notice that in this, where you're looking at it right now, the prop is not windmilling. So he obviously doesn't have much down angle. And that's what they do teach you. They teach you to find your best angle, the best rate. And so I don't know what his glide rate, what the best glide in that plane is. I'm going to guess it's probably 55 or 60 is his best glide.
Is he trying to stall it, maybe?
It doesn't look like he's trying to stall it to me, but he's trying to slow it down for sure.
Yeah, he pulls the yoke toward him several times to slow the aircraft down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious. So. You know how YouTube stopped showing the dislikes? The comments are turned off on his video, by the way.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Oh, I bet they are.
Yes. But there's plenty of other people talking about it like we are right now. But I'm curious how many.
The airplane community is put out. I lost count of the number of videos that I was seeing on that particular subject. I watched probably about 10 different ones. Every single one of them was on the same basis that they believed the thing was staged.
Yeah, I think it was staged. There was another one not too long ago that kind of had smell test was kind of in question about a guy who had a Beechcraft Bonanza that ditched it in the ocean. Remember that guy? And there was some scuttlebutt, and I don't know how true this is because it's the internet. But I read somewhere that they actually knew each other and they were kind of connected in some way. So
I don't know what happened with that. What was it for people who don't know?
That one was a guy and a girl were flying along off the coast of California, and the engine quit. And it just so happened that they were flying with another guy who filmed the whole thing from the sky, and then they had the GoPros, and they were out of the plane in like 2 seconds.
It's suspect when they have. Luckily, he had 10 GoPros going because this dude had one on his head when he was skydiving, in his hand when he was skydiving. He made sure to get the plane flying away from his when he dove. But Jason, let me ask you this: in the manned aviation community, is there anyone who desires to like land on a highway? Is that something that somebody would want to do?
Listen.
Yeah. Go on.
I I don't want to do it, but I will tell you right now that if given other options, that's going to be my go-to. And people may or may not know this. Manned aviation, airplanes have the right of way, even above pedestrians.
Right. And I saw a story where a dude landed on the highway, stopped all the cars, did something with his wing, and then took off again.
Right.
Is that usually the case when you emergency land on a highway? Do you take off again, or is it?
Well, unless you want to take the wings off of it and put it on a truck. But if it will go on its own power, then I think the best option is to take off.
You could make up a story like I had low oil pressure, I had to land, right, and then just do it. Right.
Yeah, well,
make the news.
You would have to answer a bunch of questions, but.
Well, sure. Yeah, I've seen videos where aircraft were forced to land, and they landed on a highway, and the police showed up, and they would cordon off and let traffic by the plane, and the whole time the guy is sitting there trying to get the plane functional. And in the particular case, the video that I saw, they were able to get the plane started again safely enough that it would be able to fly back to the nearest airport. So the police officers spread out. They created a cordon. The guy taxied the plane out, took off, and flew away. But in the same vein, I've seen other videos where aircraft have had engine failures. They'll land on the highway, and they have to tow them off because they can't start the plane back up again. So it really comes down to whether or not the plane has the ability to leave. And if it does, I would imagine they'd let it do it.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like, I guess it would be kind of like, yeah, I have a gun. I don't want to shoot an intruder, but I kind of do. You know what I mean? Right? Like, because you'd like to test yourself to see if you could land on a highway in an emergency situation. Not that you would ever really want to and put the public in danger, but right? Like Jeff, you've got guns. You're like, hey, I don't want to shoot anybody in the head, but if they're going to come in my house.
In my experience, though, on July 11th, 2006. Sorry, July 11th, 2006, I shot the guy in the kidney. It was his left kidney. But, yeah. You've heard that story, haven't you?
Did you shoot a dude?
He was an intruder, yeah.
You shot him?
I did.
Oh, shit.
That's for another show.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. And you've also
subscribers and members. Yeah. This is content for another day.
Okay.
That's a cliffhanger.
The art of the tease. But speaking of Mercy Landing, you did destroy a soybean field once.
I did. I wanted to get to the road. I was trying to get to the I-69 Purchase Parkway, but I didn't have enough
did you say
altitude to get there.
Did you say I-69?
I-69. Yeah.
Bingo. I win. That's all I needed for bingo. Anyway, well, that was fun. That was fun to talk about. He's like, wait, what? Wait, what?
I'm like, what?
We're going to let you get back to, you got a party going on at your house or something.
I got a party going on. I'll be back in a little bit with you guys.
Okay, but first, Jeff, you have the last word.
The last word is emergent.
Emergent. Oh, he put some thought into that this time. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, members. Here's where we wave. Bye.